Hearthstone. So we are once again on my American account here, which is my really kind of I don't have any cards account basically. So what have we done? We got some packs to open. I purchased the Welcome Bundle, which I showed you last time. The legendary I got from it was the Rogue Legendary Edwin Van Cleef, which is really good actually because I had some good ideas for Rogue Legendary, which is pretty good. So what happens with Edwin Van Cleef is it's a combo card. Combo cards means, well, look, but this way, every gain +2/+2 for each card played earlier this turn. So you play loads of cards, you drop this down, and however many cards you played, he gets +2/+2 each time. So he can be massive basically. And he's a good legendary actually to get. But what we're going to do now is open up some packs. I brought 2 packs using the 200 gold I had, and I got 10 with the welcome pack, and that's all I'm going to pay for. Okay, so we've got Inner Rage, Battle of the Wild, Twilight Drake, Earthshock, and Injured Blade Master. Okay, these choose one cards which you get with Druid. Basically, it'll give you a choice. Either you can give your minions +1/+1, or summon a 3/2 Panther on the board as well, which can be useful kind of in whatever situation you're in. It can give you options as to what you're going to do. I should get round to changing the card pack actually, shouldn't I? Okay, good. We want some rogue cards because I'm thinking a rogue deck's going to be the way I'm going to go. We've got an epic. We got the Hungry Crab. Not a great epic, to be completely honest with you. Murlocs are a type of card, and every time, when you play this, his battle cry will destroy the Murloc, and he'll gain +2/+2. It's not great. So we've got Paladin Secret. When your hero takes damage, deal that much damage to the enemy hero. Defies Ringleader, pretty good for Rogue. I could use that. You don't see it that often nowadays, but I think I could use it. Argent Squire, he's okay. Alarma Bot's pretty cool. You drop him on the board, and then if he doesn't die from your opponent's turn, on your turn, it swaps with a random minion in your hand. So if you had minions which cost 10, you could potentially swap it out for one of those. Of course, usually he dies anyway, so it's just the way it goes, I guess. Okay, we've got Mage Secret, another Mage card, Mana Worm, another Mage card, another Mirror Entity. And we got Argent Commander. It'd be nice to get a legendary in these, but it's not guaranteed. I think the guarantee for a legendary drop is something like 20 to 22 packs, something like that. There is a guarantee, so it's not like you can buy 50 packs and not get a legendary, but you can also get more. But I think there's something, from what I've read, there's something in Hearthstone which will, if you don't get a legendary within that many packs, then it will give you one. Of course, we're not opening 20 packs, so there's no guarantee I'm going to get a legendary here. And, legendaries aren't the be-all and end-all either. To be honest with you, there are decks you can build with no legendaries, and they do just as well as decks with legendaries. Okay, we're getting some good cards here. These are all classic cards as well, you'll see, by the way. So there's nothing from any new expansions or anything like that currently. You can see some Warlock cards here. I like Warlock, it's probably one of my favourite classes. Epic, Pit Lord, not great. Not great. You'll see as well, I actually weirdly doing things out of order, so I started an arena run with Warlock, which is interesting. And I'd already recorded half of that by the time I'm doing this video, if that makes sense. Okay, so we got a lot of duplicates there, I think. So what happens is if you get more than 2 of a certain card, you can dust it, or you can dust any card you want, as long as it's not one of the original cards in your deck, like one of the class cards you get at the beginning, or the neutrals. Just see the little crafting pot down here is rattling. It means you click on that, and you'll see disenchant extra cards. Apparently there's only 3 extra. we just gained an extra 95, I guess, because we disenchanted a card. So we've got 100 dust. If we click on the crafting, it will show us the cards we don't have. So you can see them here now. Problem is, if we wanted to say craft this guy, it would cost us 1,600 dust. You can see we don't even have anywhere near that. That's for one legendary. So that's always been my gripe about like this game, is that the legendaries cost way too much to craft. Like this guy's, he's only 100. He's a rare. Epics are 400, I believe, and commons are 50. I want to say 40. Sorry, 40. So yeah, it's not terrible. But let's make a rogue deck, shall we? Because we got Edwin Van Cleef. I haven't even got all the basic cards for rogue yet. Proper noob. You'll see here they have recipes for you as well, which you can choose to use. Obviously, we don't have many of the cards involved, so we're going to probably create our own custom deck. And what we're going to put? We're going to put in Van Cleef. We're going to put. Okay, thank you, Innkeeper. We're going to put Sanctifius, Deadly Poison. This is going to be like a proper old school rogue. Assassinate. Oh my goodness me! I'm going to have to make it like a really aggressive aggro rogue. Man, I always feel sorry for people who don't have cards. Now I'm that person. It's a harsh one. Yeah, Blood Sail Raider can be good. Gain attack equal to the attack of your weapon. If I can combine that with Deadly Poison, then I could give him like quite a lot of attack. Goodness me. I guess Ray Leader, Shatter Sun, try and get something which like buffs things up a little bit. I always like the Dragon Link. The Sentient Shieldmaster is a really good card as well. You see that still used a lot nowadays, even though it's in like the basic sets. I don't think Twilight Drake's going to be useful to us. It's a good card, but not particularly in this deck. Gurabashi's pretty good. I'll chuck one of him in. Ogre's solid. Stormwind as well. Wow, this is kind of like bringing me back to the classic days of Acolyte's great for card draw, so whenever he takes damage you draw a card. Card draw is very important because if you run out of cards then you're going to lose basically. You know, it gives you more choices when you have cards. We'll chuck this guy in as well because he's got charge when we have a weapon. If we go rogue then that can be pretty good. Maybe we want a Shadow Step as well. I'm just thinking that cheap spells are good because they can enable Van Cleef a lot as well. Maybe we'll go for another sap. And then what can we craft that we've got here? Conceal's pretty good to craft actually. So what I'm thinking here, so when I'm building a deck I'll go through kind of what I think, and it's difficult because obviously I don't have that many cards, but you've got to think about what your win condition is going to be. Now I'm thinking my win condition is going to be to build a really big Edwin Van Cleef, conceal it, so give him stealth so he can't be attacked, or have a spell cast on him, maybe cold blood him as well. So that gives him +4 attack again. Did I drop that cold blood in? I didn't, did I? There we go, have done now. And then hit my opponent with him. Basically, that's the thing. So this is my curve. It's not a bad curve actually, quite aggressive. You'll see there the curve, the cards versus mana cost. So if you see, I've got 8 cards in my 1 mana slot, which means I am pretty aggressive. I think an Argent Squire might be quite good. I can get him buffed. Swamp Ooze. Okay, we're up to our 30 limit. So yeah, I think my idea here is to try and get things out on the board. I don't think we're going to do that well, but we'll see how we do. We're going to be like rank 25, so we'll play some games and see how we do. So I put I call it the Free Rogue. It's not technically free, is it? I brought the welcome pack, but Free Rouge. There we go, Free Rouge. Let's play some games, and as I said before, I'll go through and explain about how the game works and my thinking and stuff like that as I play. But yeah, when you build a deck, it's a good idea to think about what your win condition is going to be like. How are you going to beat your opponent? Is it going to be through like some big combo? Is it going to be that you're going to grind them out, until they run out of like options? Is it going to be that maybe you're a warrior, you're going to build up loads of armor and just go to fatigue? Like, there's lots of different ways to win games in Hearthstone, and you kind of have to choose how you're going to do that. So we've got Van Cleef. I think we want to keep him, weirdly enough, and we'll drop that and we'll keep the Leopard Gnome, because otherwise it could be difficult to find him in the deck, if that makes sense. So Coin SI on turn 2 is a pretty good card. Of course we can play our Leopard Gnome as well to turn 1. He is on 2 mana. Likelihood here he's probably going to shapeshift and just hit into this Leopard Gnome. He's going to innovate and play a Shield Master, okay. Well, that's a problem. So I can, I'm just thinking what I can do. I can hit my hero power. So what choices do I have here? Okay, so I could hit this guy with my hero power. Well, either way I'm going to take quite a lot of damage off this. So I could coin SI into him now. Yeah, that seems like the best way, doesn't it? And then that's 3, and then we'll leave the Leopard Gnome. No, we won't. We'll hit the Leopard Gnome into him, just in case, because the thing is with Druid, you could have a swipe which would wipe both of them out. But this way at least I can, like, deadly poison and hit him there. Okay, he's going face. Okay, he's going face with that as well. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Because this can give us ball control-ish. Not really that much ball control. But we got a weapon that does 3 and a minion that does 3 on board right now. So I'm the sort of player who likes to control a game. My opponent could be the type of player who likes to go aggressively. But you see, there's not much difference in our life total at the minute. I'm on 23, he's on 26. But of course I don't know what cards he's got. Okay, so he's going to do nothing else but hero power. Okay, it's good for us. So I've got 2 choices here. I could Raid Leader, give him +1 attack, or I could Dragoning Mechanic. I'm going to Raid Leader and save the Dragoning. I'm going to save my hero as well, just in case there's a minion I want to take out. Now we have got some components to what we want is going to be a good combo. We probably need the Cold Blood. Okay, so we could backstab that. Sinister Strike, and then Edwin Van Cleef, and then Conceal. Works for me. And then I'll hit that. Actually, I should have attacked with these first. That was a terrible mistake. That was an utter noob mistake, so I should have attacked with those first. Not great with combos. And then they would have been concealed. Once you attack with stealth, you're no longer stealthed. So what we got here, we got 7. There you go, we got lethal. Well played, my friend. There we go. We got a win. So that, if you see with my deck, that was what I was kind of trying to do, is get a big Van Cleef, conceal so he can't attack anything. Obviously I got lucky that I was obviously playing a fairly new player as well. And we unlocked the Assassin's Blade, and we got 10 gold as well. choice though as well, so let's jump in again with this deck. Rogue is something I want to play more of as well, and I think what I'm going to try and do with this account is I'm going to try to play decks which I don't normally play, because on my European deck I'm more suited to the control and stuff like that, and kind of a minion based deck, so I like Priest, I like Warlock, and I think maybe I'll try and go for different decks on here and use my resources and my crafting to go for that type of thing. I think as we don't have Van Cleef, I don't want Conceal right now, but we'll take these two. Okay. And we're playing up against a Mage. Mage is a pretty good class, for sure. Okay, so we're going to play the Argent Squire. Argent Squire gets Divine Shield. What the Divine Shield means, you see this comes around it here. And that means that my opponent has to, any damage it takes for the first time, it absorbs, doesn't do anything to it, it just pops the Divine Shield. So he could do 100 damage to it, he could do 1 damage to it, it would still do the same thing. I'm just going to Hero Power this turn and attack. Yeah, it's only once they've popped this Divine Shield does it then do damage to the minion, so can be pretty useful. It's kind of annoying on a small cost minion like this, because if he has to use his ping, that's 2 mana he's having to use. Okay, he's got Novice Engineer, he's drawing. Oh, we could get a massive weapon here, by the way, if I get the South Sea Deckhand at any point. I think I want to pop the shield on that. I'd rather take 1 damage. It's got our Acolyte out, which we can hopefully get at least a card out of. Yeah, so if you remember not the South Sea Deckhand, I can't remember what it's called, the other pirate we've got. Okay, he's got the old Voodoo. Now this Voodoo's pretty good, because I'm going to trade my Acolyte into him. Unless he does something else. He's still got 2 mana, so he could do potentially. It's just so weird. This is like a blast from the past. Oh, that was a terrible mistake to play that card. Because I'm a rogue. I'm gonna have weapons. So what am I going to do here? Well, I'm going to trade that into there. Why? Because this will still keep the Acolyte alive. Plus, I'll get a card out of it, and it'll kill that. Most importantly. Then we have some options as to what to do with this ooze. So we could hit our weapon up and then charge the South Sea Deckhand into it. We could just backstab it, but I kind of want to keep it backstab for when we have the Van Cleef. Or we could pop it and then Hero Power and then attack into it. We'll take 3 damage. But if you see what I mean, we won't waste any minions, because minions could be an important factor. This guy's got charge. Now these are all on 1, so potentially he could have a spell which does 1 damage to all minions. I think Arcane Blast, something like that, and it could wipe our board. But we've still got a Dragonling to play next turn if that does happen. Okay, he's drawing Arcane Intellect. So it means he's only going to have 1. Okay, no, coined out a Arcane Missiles. Okay, so this will randomly do 1 damage to things. Brilliant. Best case scenario for me, really, there. Not best case, I guess all 3 on here would have been best case, but you know how it is. So we're going to play out the Dragonling. You have to be careful, you don't want to play out everything, especially against a Mage or some other classes which have got lots of AoE, because I think we're going to do that 1 damage there. Because what can happen is they can just have a board clear and then you're left with nothing in your hand, if you see what I mean. So here we do have 4 minions down, but apart from really this one, they're not really of major consequence. You could have a Blizzard here, or you could turn 7's the one you have to watch out for with Mage. That's when they have Flame Strike. Okay, so we can backstab him down to 3 and then chuck a couple of things into him. I kind of again want to keep the backstabs for the Van Cleef. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pop this guy down. I think he's probably, having said that though, next turn if I can give my other minions +1/+1, it still wouldn't protect them against like a flame strike, so I think I'm going to pop this guy down here. And then we're going to attack him with him. So I'm sacrificing minions to try and save cards to get a Van Cleef combo, but the question is now, am I going to get Van Cleef to plus conceal to actually manage to do that? And that's why having a very one-dimensional deck can be a very bad thing. Okay. Now we have a chance to pull off something pretty cool, so we can go daggers out, deadly poison, and then there's a blood cell raider. And then we'll trade that in. There we go. And now we've got some credible threats on board, which he has to deal with. Even if he flame strikes, he's dead. So that's good. So that's another little combo we had there, where we played the deadly poisons, buffed up our weapon, and the blood cell came along. So I'm hoping he does flame strike because he's dead. If he does, okay, Frost Nova, pretty good. If he doomsayers, and you'll see if he does doomsayer, then that's not bad. No, he's not doomsayer. Doomsayer's a 0/7 card. Okay, what have I got? That does 3 to the enemy hero. I'm going to just do this. Kind of hoping I get a Van Cleef personally, but yeah, it's a 0/7 card, a Doomsayer, and it at the start of the opponent's turn. So if you don't kill it in one turn, it destroys everything on the board. Okay, so we've won. Well played. This is really old school Hearthstone. This is like original Hearthstone. There we go. This is like real early, like classic card set Hearthstone, which is actually pretty cool to play. So we did our quest. Quests are important to do because they give you gold. Gold enables you to buy packs and go in the arena. Sorry, wrong one. I just wanted to have a look what my other quests were. I've also got to do these. I'll probably do these off camera and then open the packs on camera or something like that. Getting a cast level 10 gets me a pack, and joining the goons. So I need to win 3 games as a hunter, paladin, or warrior. So I'll have a look what I can do. I think you can do that in Tavern Brawl as well. So maybe if I can get oh god, look. Mage would probably be the best one. I need to get that to level 10 and I get a free pack. Boy oh boy, it's going to be a long trip, isn't it? But I think the thing is, like, when you're early on, you can see I'm playing against people who are who've not got all the cards, you know, so you don't have to worry about jumping in and you're just going to get wiped out in your first game. So you're going to be playing against people who are new to the game as well. The thing is, like, that's the matchmaking system. If I start winning, I'll go up against people who are better and better and better, and then eventually I'll start losing. Okay, I can do this. I can deal with this as a start. I'll take it. My goodness me, this is like 3 years ago Hearthstone. Oh, wow, it's pretty cool actually. Quite enjoying. Kind of like, I wouldn't say starting anew, but certainly certainly kind of like starting from the beginning again. So there's something to be said for that experience, for sure. Okay, cool. So I'm going to play this guy. Say greetings. It's a pretty good turn one play, I think, the Argent Squire. There are better ones out there, but I mean, Coin Defias is a classic turn one play. But he'll be a turn 3 play for us. We'll probably hero power next turn, depending upon what my opponent here, the Warlock, does. I like Warlock as a class because he's got demons, and I think they're really cool. Okay, so he's got some newer cards here. I like it. Not too worried about it though, because I'm just going to hero power and then attack into it. And then get my health back, because the Mistress of Mixers restores 4 health to both players as its Death Rattle. That's one of the Gachizan cards, so we're playing a... That's an interesting one. I'm not quite sure why he would do that, but... I think I'm just going to go face. I think I'm just going to go fierce. So Defias when you play combo, so a bonus if you already played a card this turn, you summon a 2/1 Defias Bandit. So you definitely 100% want to do that. Okay, so he's drawing and trading by the looks of it. And he's going to use Demon Fire, interesting, to kill that. Now I'm going to just hero power this down, take the 3, and then attack his face for 4, and leave it at that. No need to waste any more resources, or do anything else. He's going to have an advantage in cards over me, big time, because... ooh, that was a terrible shot. But he's hit my face. Oh, damn. Not good. Not good at all. Okay, so we could play our Shinjin. If we play the Shinjin, I could play the Deadly Poison and get rid of this. Doesn't seem like a terrible choice. He's always going to have an advantage over us in number of cards, so we have to be smart about how we use them. So he's like a classic zoo deck here. Very, very classic zoo deck here. I think we're going to get beaten down because this is, by the looks of it, a pretty constructed deck. By that I mean it's, I've got nothing to play. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I could have hero powered, sorry. I'm not playing very well now. I could have hero powered and attacked. The advantage to the Flame Imp, of course, is that he takes another 3 damage if he plays it again. Which he did, so. Ugh, we're in serious trouble here. Okay. There we go, it's put something big and threatening down, so he's got to take it out. Now I've got 16 life. He's got 3, 6, 8 on board. Man, he had those shadow bolts all lined up, didn't he? Wow. That's not good at all. We've got no AoE, so this is I think where we've met our match. Yeah, it's unfortunately we have lost. Well played. I concede, because I can't do anything that will stop him being able to hit me for that much damage next turn. Can't lose stars at this rank, luckily, so until we get down to like the 20s, it doesn't matter if we lose. It's just experience, basically. Let's try and jump in and play another. And I think early on the games go pretty quick as well on there. Now that was pretty much a zoo deck, which is a Zoolock, and basically what it means is a lot of very low cost minions, the idea being to swamp your opponent. The and get the just get ball control and just really start hammering at your opponent. The way to counter that is with area of effect spells or minions which do area of effect damage. So in other words, does damage to all the minions. I don't have any of that in this deck, so it was always going to be a loss probably. And sometimes you're going to come up against that where you play up against an opponent who just has a deck which will totally counter everything you've got, and that's Hearthstone, unfortunately. Like, you can't win every game. It doesn't matter what deck you have. Even the best players in the world have like a 55%, 60% win rate, because it's a difficult game to win. Okay, I think we're going to go for the Argent Squire like we did last time. Another Mistress and Mixer comes out to begin with. So this guy's also got some gadgets and cards. What have we got here? It's a Stormwind. Not very useful to have this Stormwind straight up, but it could be very useful later on if we can get some board presence with him. Okay, so we've got a couple of choices here that we can do. I could Hero Power hit and then knock him in there, or I could, I think I might go for the combo here. Not combo, but like the buff, and then kill it. And then we've got two elf minions now. Hunter can have cards which like Power Shot and things like that. But yeah, it was fairly unlikely he would have that or use that. So now we have two choices here again. We can, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Hero Power and then Deadly Poison and then attack into it, take the 4 damage, and I've still got board presence. I could also attack into that and then Raid Leader, which kind of does the same thing, but I don't take the damage. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go for that option, but then again, the other question is if he doesn't kill these next turn, I could then Raid Leader both of them. Let's do it the way I was going to do it and see what happens. Hunter as a class archetype generally, or class archetype, sorry, generally are very aggressive. You can get ones which try to control more, but they generally tend to be very aggressive in the way they play their hero power. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Kind of makes them that way. This one looks like he's a buff paladin. So we have to be wary we're going to get some very big cards come out soon. So we're going to have to try to kind of, I guess beat him down would be the... Am I going to trade? Yeah, I'm going to trade there. And then I'm going to go face. I'm going to leave the dagger there. I need something at 5. Like, it's going to be very difficult for me to win this if he can keep buffing up his cards. A blood sale would be pretty good right now. Okay, that one's buffed, an alley cat, okay. That's not so bad, you know. That's not so bad. I'm happy to take the one on the chin there. Same with that. And I'm gonna go quite aggressively. And then hero power again. So we've got lethal on board. He needs to do something to stop that. And then we can play the ogre next turn. And see where we go from there, basically. So I'm trying to aggro him, basically. I'm trying to outface him, almost. It can be a very dangerous game if you are... Oh, well, there you go, we won. It can be a dangerous game if you're willing to take damage to your hero by attacking things. Look at that. We got down 2, and we got another reward. obviously that's a pretty good AoE, especially against Zoo. So that would be useful perhaps to put one of those in our deck as we go along. So yeah, that's a little taster, I guess, of the ranked ladder. As you can see, I did get destroyed by one deck, but all in all, we didn't do too badly there, I don't think. With this little deck that I built out of, pretty sure, apart from Edwin Van Cleef, and as I say, how many times did I use Edwin Van Cleef? Once in 4 games, so you didn't necessarily need him. It's not like I'm waiting for him every single game to win. So if you don't have the legendary, don't worry too much. You could perhaps put another SI7 in or something like that. It's up to you really. But there you go. I hope that kind of helps people look at different things. I'll play different decks with different classes and do stuff like that. And see how we go. But thanks for watching, guys. As always, it's been my pleasure. I'll catch you next time.